Everybody, I am just going to do a quick little flip through here of my son and his family hiking through the Appalachian Trail. I haven't posted in several weeks, and I would not normally go back and post a bunch of photos, so I just thought I'd just do a little flip of them because I don't want to skip this because I'm just so stinking proud of them. So anyway, if you've seen previous pages, like posted on the group, because this is really just for the group, I've mentioned it a couple of times, but they, my son and his wife and kids, plan to go hiking on the Appalachian Trail, which starts in Georgia. They're going to just do pieces of it each year as the kids grow up. But anyway, their very first outing, they planned a 9-day trip, which I think is crazy. They did like a 2-day hike before and stayed overnight once, but anyway, that was their plan. So they actually texted us the day before they left. I don't know if you can really see this well. So they texted us this little map, which is basically where they were starting and ending. And so they were starting here. This is Georgia. And then hiking, these red pins are where they were spending the night each night. So they wanted us to know approximately where they were. And then they would text us at the end of the day and let us know that they got there, so that if we didn't hear from them, we'd have some general idea of where they were if a search party had to be sent out. So anyway, and then they ended up here, or actually that was the plan, which is kind of like a little triangular corner of Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. They actually crossed through Tennessee and then wound up in North Carolina. So anyway, it was 90 miles. They did approximately 10 miles per day. So anyway, there's just some photos they sent us. They, like I said, texted us at the end of each day. This little St. Augustine, Florida card is just a little leftover card. Rachel and the boys had gone camping the weekend before with her dad while my son was on Army duty drill out, like camping in the wild too. So they do this kind of stuff. So they enjoy that kind of stuff. But anyway, so the postcard has nothing to do with this. So here's my grandsons walking down the trail, stopping to take a look at the overview, which I'm not sure how much you can see, but there's just all mountains there. And there are some little parks along the way. And a few campsites that are kind of primitive campsites that might have like a little picnic table, cement picnic table, and a fire ring. But otherwise, it's just out pretty much in the wild. So anyway, they met some other hikers. There's other hikers along the way, of course. And they took a picture of them on their first day. And then, hopefully I'm not too off out of the frame. This picture here, I'm not sure how well you can see this either. So I'm going to pick that up. If you can see this little red, oops, sorry, I hope I'm not giving you seasickness. There's a little red circle right here. So this is where they were. That's where they started out that day. And there's like about 5 hills/mountains in between. My daughter-in-law has this app where you can put in like the name of a mountain or coordinates or whatever, and it'll show you where that is in relation to where you are. So that's how many miles they had hiked that day, up and down each one of those little peaks. And then here they are looking out, and my grandson took a picture of them. They were loving being able to take some pictures themselves. Here's my youngest grandson, Jackson. He is, they actually had to filter their own water because they were going camping for 9 days. There was no way for them to carry enough water. So they bought some kind of water filter purifier thing, and basically you get water from a stream, or if you're lucky enough and there happens to be some water somewhere, you just get that water, and then you basically squirt from one bottle into the other bottle with a little filter thing in between. This is their little mats that they would lay on during the day when they were taking breaks. And then also it would go underneath their sleeping bag because it got pretty darn cold at night. I'm not sure what the temperature was, but I know here in my part of Georgia, it was 40-ish, a little bit. So they probably got down into the 30s or high 30s. So I'm sure they were cold some parts of the time. So here they are just having a little bit of fun time along the way, doing some little dueling with sticks or whatever they happen to pick up along the way, playing some cards on one of the concrete picnic tables along the way. And they took selfies of themselves with their little dirty faces, which honestly, they don't look that much dirtier than they normally are. So, but they enjoyed doing that. And then on their, let's see, this would be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. On their 5th day, I actually went and met them. There's a place where the trail, I'm sure there's other places, but there's a place where the trail crossed that has like a little place where you can pull in. I think day hikers might park there, but I actually met them there after I got off work to bring them their restock of food because they also couldn't carry enough food for 9 days. So basically, like, my son's pack weighed 33 pounds. My daughter-in-law had a 30-pound pack. The oldest grandson had a 12-pound pack, and the youngest one had like a 10-pound pack. And that was mostly just gear and stuff like that, and their food, of course. So anyway, I brought them. They had already brought it over to my house, tied up in a bag. Mostly it was dried food, like ramen noodles, mashed potatoes, oatmeal, basically anything that was dried in a package and could mix with water. So anyway, I drove up there and met them. The place where I met them was up in the mountains between Helen, Georgia, and Hiawassee, if you want to look that up. Anyway, it's up in a mountain. It took me 4 miles off the main road, which this kind of looks like a main road, but it's not. But that's like winding up in the mountains for like 4 miles. So anyway, there was a town about 15 minutes away. We actually drove there. We had a little fast food. They got to use a real bathroom, which they were really excited about. And then I basically took them back to the little parking lot, and they re-geared up their stuff with their new food and headed out again. And then some of these pictures I just combined. I don't know which ones were from which days. I got them all confused once I printed off all the text photos, but here's them enjoying their morning coffee, a little shoe tie-in along the way. At the end of each night, you have to, and I don't know if you can see this either, it's not a great picture. My son is tying up a bear bag. So basically you have to put all your food in a bag that's that scents can't come through. I don't know, some special kind of bag, like no odor. And then you have to hoist it up in a tree and tie it off. And you have to be like so many hundreds of feet from your campsite so that if they do find it, it's nowhere near you, basically. And here's my grandsons eating out of a pan that they had used to cook something, whatever it was, over a fire. That's funny. They just, with limited amounts of water, you just don't dirty up much, basically. So they just kind of all ate out of the same pot, which I found amusing. And then some of this is about my day too, of course. Then this was actually a week had gone by. They were actually supposed to finish up on Sunday, but on Saturday, well, they had been rained on the day before on Friday, and it was also raining a little on Saturday. So these are just some of the photos. But there were really bad storms predicted to come through that night, and they actually did wind up going through the storm. So they actually had my daughter-in-law's mom picked them up in North Carolina, excuse me, on Saturday afternoon, and then Saturday night really bad storms did roll through. So basically out of the 90 miles, they wound up doing about 80-ish miles, which is a lot to me for 7 days. I mean, 7-8 days just on the road. So anyway, I'm very proud of them. I can't even imagine doing something like that. I couldn't imagine doing something like that with my family. I don't know. It's just amazing to me. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. So thank you so much for watching.